Welcome to the Cowbell Kingdom postgame show. I am James Ham here at Sleep Train Arena, where the Sacramento Kings lose again. They lose 117 to 108 to the Los Angeles Clippers. This has to be one of the strangest games that I've ever been to in my entire career. It was Bollywood night here in Sacramento, which meant that the entire arena was decorated with all kinds of gaudy towels. It was a fun, festive evening celebrating, again, Bollywood. Vivek Ranadive put on the show. But there was an eeriness about this game all the way from the beginning. DeMarcus Cousins couldn't go at the last minute. Rudy Gay, we had no idea what was going on. He was questionable. He wasn't even in the building. And then we find out later that he actually had a death in the family and was in Connecticut. Rudy Gay shows up in the first quarter, starts stretching out behind the bench after we thought that he wasn't going to play at all. Derek Williams started in his spot. A very strange feel to this game. A fan hits the half-court shot and blows up the entire arena. Everyone's cheering. He wins a car. Just weird from start to finish. So let's get to some of the highlights of this game. First and foremost, Sacramento Kings are 16-24 on the season. They fall to 2-6 on this 2-4 on this 6-game homestand. Tyrone Corbin is 5-11 as the head coach of the Sacramento Kings. Tonight, Jason Thompson ends up being an absolute monster. The veteran finishes with 23 points and 22 rebounds. That is his first 20-20 game of his career. It's actually the first time that Jason Thompson's ever broke 20 rebounds in a game. He sets a career high again with 22 rebounds, besting his previous high of 19. Rudy Gay, again, shows up out of nowhere, drops in 22 points, 6 of 16 from the field, plays 34 minutes despite having a knee issue. Finishes with 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Not a spectacular performance by Rudy Gay, but a gutsy performance. I guess he wanted to be here for his teammates. Even with DeMarcus Cousins missing the game, he figured that they would need his help. Derek Williams started in his place. 13 points, 5 rebounds. The one issue that you will point to in this game with Derek Williams, while he wasn't completely responsible for Matt Barnes going crazy, he did let Matt Barnes get open early and get started. Matt Barnes finishes with 26 points, which was just ridiculous. If you've got a team with all of these stars that the Los Angeles Clippers have, Chris Paul and Blake Griffin and great shooters and, Jamal Crawford off the bench, you can't let Matt Barnes burn you for 26 points, and that's exactly what happened. Ben McLemore finishes with 14 points on 6 of 12 shooting. He misses all 4 of his long balls, but I'll say this, Ben McLemore looked creative tonight. He looked like he wanted to try some new things. Off the dribble, he went right around J.J. Redick a couple of times. He had a jump stop and a baseline pop, which was really nice. Really sort of showing more and more of his game on a nightly basis. Quincy Miller makes his debut as a Sacramento King, which is very strange. He signed earlier in the day from the Reno Bighorns to the Developmental League. He shows up and he actually plays. I think he only played like 6 minutes, but we didn't see Nick Stauskas at all tonight. I'm not quite sure what to make of that. Rookie Nick Stauskas gets a DMP CD. I think that's the second time this season that's happened. Let's get to our 3 keys to the game. Back to boarding is the first key from Mr. Rui Thomas, and Rui nailed this one. Sacramento Kings, while they lost, they out-rebounded the Clippers 54-34. Jason Thompson, again, 22 huge rebounds. Reggie Evans with 8 rebounds off the bench. But then after that, it's kind of an interesting thing. The Kings had 3 guys with 5 rebounds and then a bunch of 2s and 3s all the way across the board. This was a very, very good all-around team rebounding night for the Sacramento Kings, and that's what you have to do against a team that can really get up and down the floor like the Clippers. The Kings had 22 offensive rebounds as well. Jason Thompson looked like Moses Malone in the first minute of this game, tapping the ball to himself off the glass again and again. He had 4 rebounds in the first minute. Most of those were on the offensive end. Let's get to our second key, sniper's revenge. The last time these two teams met, the Clippers went 9 of 31 from long range. Tonight, 9 of 28, very similar night. Redick and Barnes both go 4 of 9 from behind the arc. Jamal Crawford goes 1 of 7. It's one of those games, though, where little things happen here and there. I know Crawford had a shot in this game that really opened up the game, where he had an and one that it sort of looked like Ray McCallum blocked clean, and he flipped up and somehow made it. He's made a career out of the 4-point play, and tonight he got one of those against the Kings. Let's get to our final key, which is CP3 versus Darren Collison, the point guard matchup. And got to be honest with you, for the second time, Darren Collison took it to his former mentor. Collison finishes with, again, 17 points and 4 assists. He holds Chris Paul to 12 points and 9 assists. A very good game by Collison. The Clippers, even Doc Rivers in pregame talked about how much this team misses the speed of Darren Collison, how much they miss their former reserve guard. And tonight, he once again played extremely well. He did turn the ball over 5 times, which was an issue. But again, the Kings have played lackluster games again and again over this stretch. And tonight, they just lost to a better team, and you can understand that. And you had some really nice matchups tonight where again, Jason Thompson really took it to the front line, a big front line of the Clippers. If the Kings had DeMarcus Cousins tonight, it's very possible this game could have had a different outcome. It's just kind of the look and the feel of this game. The Kings were upbeat. They were trying hard. They were running up and down the floor. Let's get to our MVP of the night. I got to go with Jason Thompson, even though the Kings lost. Again, Jason Thompson with his first career 2020 game, 23 points, 22 rebounds, an incredible night for Jason Thompson. I don't know why the Kings haven't allowed Jason Thompson to get off offensively, but that's kind of been the last 2 seasons. They leave him alone and don't really give him opportunities. I think tonight he was 9 of 15 from the field. Jason Thompson does have some skill, and he did it against, again, Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, some really high-quality big men that the Clippers have on their front line. If I'm going to go with a Clipper as an MVP for tonight, I'm going to have to go with Matt Barnes, 26 and 10. He is the Sacktown's finest, Del Campo High star from Sacramento, and tonight he stuck it to the Kings. But then again, it looked like he was standing just alone, wide open. I think the Kings thought he was an actual Sacktown, fan most of the night, and they didn't even guard him. So a very good night for Matt Barnes, but he was wide open, let's be honest. The Kings are back in action on Monday night against Portland, up in Portland, but then they're back on Wednesday here in Sacramento to take on the Brooklyn Nets and former Sacramento Kings head coach Paul Westphal. We get to see Keith Smart and Paul Westphal in the same week. Kind of an interesting thing that's going on here in Sacramento. So again, very strange game, very strange vibe to this game. Guy hits a half-court shot, people dancing on the floor to Bollywood music, loud decorations all over, an overall festive and fun evening for Sacramento Kings fans, except for the loss. So that's going to do it for this edition of the Cowbell Kingdom postgame show. Thanks for joining me. I'm James Ham here at Sleep Train Arena. We'll see you on Monday night for a Road Reaction postgame show, and then back here on Wednesday.